Okay, what is the best VR for sim racing? This is an insane video because I've got the Pimax Crystal Super here, which I've been using for quite a while now, but I've also got 3 different optical engines. This is crazy. I've got OLED. This one is OLED. I've got 57 ppd, which is like possibly the most like pixel dense VR like thing you can get right now, 57 ppd. And I've also got ultra wide. So I've got ultra wide, I think about 140 degrees or something of ultra wide. So these are all provided by Pimax. This is a sponsor header from Pimax. But I'm just going to let you know between these ones, what do I like, what don't I like. And I'll start with already my super one, the one I've got in here, which I think is 50 ppd, is buzzing a little bit. And I think it's probably the fan, I'm guessing, because I can see fans here on the front, very delicate, like they look like laptop fans. So I'm guessing something's got in my fan and that's why it's buzzing. So that'll be interesting to see whether that changes when I swap it. So hopefully that'll be nice. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go in the 50 ppd. This is the default, I think, headset. And we'll see how it is. If you can hear my baby, by the way, don't worry, my baby's being looked after. I'm not here on my own with my baby there and I'm in virtual reality. That'd be very silly. So here we go. This is the 50 ppd Pimax Crystal Super, kind of like default optical engine. Okay, and already I can tell you that it's not, I haven't balanced that nicely in my head. For this one here, to get in the sweet spot, I kind of need to be like that. There we go. Okay, so 50 ppd, I'm running at 72 Hz in the headset. I'm running 72 FPS in iRacing. That's good. So I've tweaked everything nicely. It's what we come to love and expect from Pimax headsets, which is just that insane fidelity. Like everything in the cockpit is just insane. But also, like the curbing here is incredibly detailed as well visually. And most importantly for me, I'd say, stuff in the distance is sharp and the fencing is not a aliased mess. That is the biggest turn off of VR sim racing for me, is when I see fencing and it's just like terrible. Here the fencing looks like fencing in real life. So I'm happy. This is a very good experience. Obviously I've tweaked it. I like being in this car. I like being at this track. I like coming into turn 1. Sometimes we can do it without locking up. But it's a great experience and the fidelity really comes through, like on the track surface, on the curbs. The grass is not very well rendered here at these settings in iRacing. The trees are not very well rendered. That, whatever that is not well rendered. But stuff that's important, like white lines, tarmac, curb, is very, 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 very nicely done in this combination of iRacing at these settings and also the Pimax Crystal Super at 50 ppd. You will need a beastly headset to run this. Okay, so let's see what happens if we go to 57 ppd. And I don't even know how to do this. Slot that back in because probably I should take off the gasket earlier, or whatever you call it. So that's now clipped in. However, my headset has... Oh, my headset light has come on now on the Pimax. Okay, so here I am in iRacing. And in the 57 ppd, does it feel any different? Well, it feels quieter because of the fan. I'm in the car. Oh, it's very difficult to say, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm looking at my seatbelt. It doesn't feel... I've sat in, obviously, these 6-point harnesses before. The red material doesn't look like the material you get. It looks very rubbery, but it looks incredibly... It would look like an incredibly real rubber material. The gloves look pretty similar, but yeah, that... I mean, it's insane. I don't... I'll put it this way. I don't... Whoa. When I look at the race suit as well, I don't think I need any more pixel density than this. Like, this is pretty crazy. And I obviously, every time I'm in VR using different headsets, different sims, I'm always looking at the wheel, etc. But this feels, yeah, absolutely insane, I would say. Let's go out and let's see what we're doing. 70 FPS, 6970, so maybe we had some headroom. But interestingly, we're not losing FPS. This feels different to me. Something does feel different. I wonder if it feels a bit more 3D. I wonder if it feels a bit more like my natural vision as well. This does feel... something about it does feel nicer. But I wouldn't say it's particularly, apart from what I've noticed there, I wouldn't say it's particularly clarity at medium or long distance. It might be due to... it might be due to a better 3D effect, I'm not sure. And I don't know all the science of that. I just know that when I was using my PSVR 1 on Gran Turismo Sport, even in the 2D online mode, but I was playing it in the headset, I felt like I had some level of depth perception. This feels more natural to me from a racing perspective. I feel like maybe I'm a bit more comfortable just looking out and like the world scale or something. And I haven't changed any settings in Pimax Play or in iRacing, as you've seen. I feel a bit more in tune here. I would say this feels more comfortable, is maybe the best way to put it. It just generally feels more comfortable. Okay, so I already wasn't really expecting a difference here. I thought maybe it'll be a bit sharper. But having this experience now, I'm getting the red... not the red, I'm getting the sun effects on my arm there, which is quite cool. This feels quite similar looking left and right, but when I'm driving, I feel like I'm kind of looking more... I have more kind of like... oh, it feels very vague what I'm saying. I have more kind of like ability to understand what's going on in like those relatively a small vertical amount of pixels in the distance. Like look how short the tarmac is that I can see like at the vanishing point, if that makes sense. But I feel like I have a better understanding of what's there. So... oh, nice. And I feel like it would make me more confident as well, potentially. Okay, that's interesting. I can tell you already from now, for me, having all these units from review by Pimax, I'm going to probably keep this one over the 50 ppd because it just feels a bit more comfortable. I wonder if there's a weight difference as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is do the thing that you shouldn't do, which is now take it out. Okay, so now I'm in the ultra-wide. The ultra-wide. And yeah, it feels wider, but I can still see, I can still feel I'm in goggles. So it's not like you don't have any black kind of edges in your vision anymore, I would say. Wow, okay, well that feels different because it feels like... okay, I was in the wrong position. It felt like the halo was different. Do I notice a difference here? It feels less... it feels like I'm less kind of like... you know, like aggressively looking for... when I say aggressively, I mean in like a comfortable, like, yeah, I want to see what's there. It feels like I'm a bit more distanced. Performance-wise... it looks like we dropped a few this time. 64, 65, 60, 70. Okay, maybe it's okay. 72, maybe it's okay. I mean, it feels like it's wider, 100%, but I prefer the 57. I think you would think as a sim racer, we're going to all want that field of view, you know, to just have that field of view, see more, overtaking, defending, etc. But for me, the 57 felt just more intuitive for driving than this. And remember, Pimax make these headsets not just for sim racing, but also for flight sim and like everything else. And there might be other, you know, flight sim, field of view might be everything. It's all about that immersion. You're not, in flight sim, you're not having to focus on an apex like 20 meters ahead or something like that. So, I mean, to me, if I recall the 50 ppd, this feels noticeably wider than the 50 ppd. It does kind of feel like ultra wide, I have to say. So that is nice if you feel claustrophobic already. But I can still, when my eyes look left and right, which you can't see me do, but inside when my eyes move left and right, I can see the black edges. So it's not like that. It's not like you're just looking and it's just like being in the sphere in Las Vegas. It's not like that. It's a bit wider. But for me, I don't feel like that trade-off is worth the really good experience and the 57 ppd. By the way, I don't know what people are saying about this. You know, I don't know what the common kind of like assumptions are or opinions are on these things. I'm just telling you what I think honestly. So for me, the 57 ppd felt like a more like 3D driving experience. This feels more like in front of like an ultra wide. I mean, if I can see more of this headrest, that's not really adding me much, is it? Ironically, that probably makes you feel more claustrophobic because you're reminded about how you'll package in. And I also feel like the FPS has struggled a little bit, but we're doing a bit of a silly test here. We're like swapping and changing and everything so quickly. So that's ultra wide. Okay, let's try the OLED now. Let's go to OLED. Whoa. Look at the FPS. Why are we running more FPS? So obviously, am I recording? I hope I'm recording. The colors, because I want you to get my first impressions of when I'm in these things. The colors are really vibrant, as you'd expect. Now, those straps, we're talking small differences. They're not quite as like unbelievably like real if they were made of rubber as the 57 ppd, but it's still very, very, very good. I'm not saying it's blurry by any stretch. I've noticed there's some issues with text. So my text on the UI is messed up, but that doesn't seem like it's that seems like there's some sort of bug that's happened. It's not like this is bad at rendering it or anything like that. Okay, the thing I noticed is it felt very vibrant. The lighting is arguably more impressive than the colors even. Like feeling the sun kind of like reflecting off that and the shadowing I've got here. These are the same graphical settings in iRacing, but it feels like that I'm running better graphical settings in iRacing, which is absolutely insane. And the frame rate is higher, which I don't get. We haven't started moving yet. I also feel quite 3D. Oh, I think I might be noticing the benefits a little bit of that frame rate. So I guess actually we're running at 90 FPS. I guess Pimax Play is running at 90. Maybe this OLED doesn't run at 72. Maybe we have to run at 90. I'm going to guess. Oh, it just feels and looks so good. Oh my goodness, the mirror. The way the light is reflecting off the mirror because the sun's behind me. And I can see those sunny surfaces is like... This is like a completely different... This time of day did not exist on the other ones. Okay, I've got to try and be really helpful here because you might be watching this and you want to buy one of these. I would say if you want that like emotional connection to the Sims or games that you're playing, this OLED is unlocking stuff that the other three can't even dream of, frankly. Like, I'm feeling the heat on my arms as I go in these sunny patches in between the shadows. Similar to what I get on PSVR 2, also an OLED. So yeah, if you want to have that like kind of like emotive connection with your sim and your games, for me, this OLED blows the other ones out the water. The ultra wide, I'm not sure the ultra wide is going to be as important for sim racing. Whoa, we're going to get the sun on the arm. Now, if you think about it, yes, I did. I got the feeling of sun. I think it's one of those things like a dream. Like if you think about it too much, how's the aliasing? Absolutely fine. The lights there like feel illuminated. Oh my god, yes. So you have to remember also, compared to the ultra wide, I race in real life. I'm very used to putting on a helmet and going racing, right? This sensation of like, you know, feeling like I'm in a helmet is very real to the sensation I have when I'm racing, or recently when I drove a car like this at Silverstone. This is how it feels. So the ultra wide, I think when I'm looking at that mirror, I can see more of the headrest. In a way, this is going to sound really weird, in a way that's kind of unrealistic because you don't get that much field of view when you're wearing a helmet. So maybe that's why I'm not as enamored as much, but that might be due to my having worn a helmet and raced with a helmet for so many years. But if I hadn't, maybe I'd just be like, oh yeah, the field of view's nicer. I don't know. But for me, 57 ppd versus OLED, that's what it is for me. And honestly, I think I'd probably go OLED. Like, it just feels like I'm bathing in this environment. And I just know I'm going to have... This might sound weird, right? But I know that if I was playing Skyrim... It might sound weird, but I played a lot of Skyrim in PSVR 1. I would feel more in the world in this OLED than the 57 ppd. So I would probably go OLED. But 57 ppd does have that binocular effect. I've got to remember that. It does have that real like sense of 3D depth perception. But this is so good. This is so good. Oh, we've got to do it again. We got to do head. It's a final now. It's a final. This versus 57 ppd. Let's do it. This just feels so 3D. Oh yeah, I mean that's just better. That's very, very, very good. I don't feel the same emotional connection with the colours. But from a driving perspective, I kind of... It's almost like the natural focusing distance for me is right where I want it to be. It's almost like for the ultra wide, the natural focusing, it's like you can see everything, but because you can see everything like horizontal, like edge to edge, that you're not like in the middle. Whereas here, like I have a sweet spot in the middle. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I'd probably go OLED. But that might be a future video, like, am I faster in OLED or 57? It'd be very, very, very small margins, though. Oh, this is just so natural and comfortable, though. This is just so comfortable. I feel like I'm effortlessly driving the car. I could really throw this car around. Oh, I don't know which one's better. I should know which one's better for me. Am I happy sacrificing the emotion of OLED? For me, yes. Because why do I sim race? I want to be fast. I'm going 57 ppd. I'm going 57 ppd. I'm doing it. I just feel like this is comfortable. I'm actually excited to use this and go racing like this. And the more comfort you have in VR, the better, I think. Because you're like, you know, it might be hot in your room. You might have to do some tinkering. The world scale feels good as well. Like my tires feel big. I'm going to go 57 ppd, but I acknowledge that it is worse in terms of the colours and the brightness and the lights than the OLED. Wow, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that all recorded because it's a bit of a complicated video to record. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see me do more of this in sim racing. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on the optical engines. I'll see you in the next one.